Hey girl, I see you. You've come a long, long way. You're not alone anymore. Come sit with me and tell me your story. You've come a long way, girl. Pulled yourself out of what the mess. Those were some dark times back then, but it's all over now. You're not alone anymore. Come sit with me and tell me your story. This is Trucking with Tammy, where your journey's heard and your voice is free. You're not alone, come share your story with me.
Good morning, truckers. Welcome back to Trucking with Tammy. Today on Triumphs and Trials, we are shining the light on a woman who is on fire. She's the owner and CEO of TKK Logistics and Trucking, where she has made complicated logistics her specialty. So grab your coffee. Let's welcome the one, the only port queen, Mrs. Violetta Pinson.
Hey, y'all.
How'd you like that welcoming?
Listen, you read all the accolades. There's nothing left for me to say. You put it all out there. I loved it. Thank you, Tammy.
You're welcome. Welcome to the show. So for those who don't know, how did you earn the nickname Port Queen, and what does it mean to you?
So I was given that name by my drivers. And so it kind of started off where, when they came in, they were like, okay, you killing the port game. Like, so they just started calling me the port queen. At first, they used to call me the pit bull, which was funny to me because I was like, now, come on now. That's just a little rude. But they
I would take being called a pit bull as a compliment.
I eventually did, because when they explained the meaning, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. So they called me that because I'm all about, ensuring that what they're entitled to as a driver, whether it be detention, whether it be a right rate, whether it be, a layover, whatever it is, hey, I'm coming for you. And I'm not going to let go until you give it to me. Okay.
Yeah. And that's what they need. They need that.
And so then they began to call me the port queen because when we, started back during the pandemic time, we got into doing containers at TKK. Now, we don't do them as much now, but we were doing them. And when I say I used to call the port, I used to call containers, and I hope I can say this, the new dope game. Okay. Because, baby, it was what was popping. You hear me? Containers was paying. But again, it was during that time where everybody needed what they needed. So the rates were, through the roof. So it was an awesome industry to be in at the moment.
That's awesome. So you got the name Port Queen. What was your journey into trucking and dispatch? I mean, how'd you get here?
So I, at the time, was a single mom working at the post office. And so if you know anything about the post office, you have no life. And so one of my, at the time, she was another regular that worked at the post office, and she had gotten some box trucks. And baby, when I tell you she was sticking and moving, I mean, she was showing us how she was making 10 grand plus a week. And I'm like, put me in, coach, put me in. Yeah. Okay? How can I be down? And so she told us, what she had done. And she initially told us who she did her dispatch training through. And, hey, I'm all about, building generational wealth while breaking generational curses. So I'm like, hey, I'm a single mom. I got boys and a daughter. And hey, we all know this world ain't getting no better, and it ain't getting no easier, and prices are going up and not down. Okay. So what can I do to make some, good generational wealth where I can pass it down my legacy? And so getting into the trucking industry, at first I was supposed to have been buying a box truck with a friend of mine. We were supposed to go into business together, but that didn't work out. And I had already invested in myself. And I wasn't going to waste my investment. And so then I went on ahead and I just said, forget it. I'm going to, sink or swim. So I got out there and I swam. There was moments where I felt like I was drowning, but hey, the life, they threw a little life raft out there, and so that's how I initially got into it. And so,
did you, when you said you invested in yourself and you got did you start with the dispatching then? Is that the dispatch course?
I invested in myself, I paid a good dollar amount for the dispatching course, and $400 is $400. I don't have $400 to just sit on the counter and say, all right, whatever. No, right. I took that and said, you know what? It doesn't matter who's going to roll with me and who's not. I'm going to roll with myself. I'm going to bet on me in this time. And so that's what we did. I took the course. And when I first started, of course, anything that you first start is like being in a foreign country. You don't know what's going on or how to do it, but I had a lot of trial and error, which brings me to where I am today and why I offer the courses that I offer, because it's a lot into it. It's a lot.
So where did the husband and the trucking part of it meet your dispatching?
So the husband side of it, he was already driving trucks. So to make a long story short, my husband and I actually grew up together. We are actually childhood friends. Yeah, we've known each other since I was 2. And so we dated. He was my first, everything. And so we dated back when we were teenagers. And then, life was lifing and we separated. And when I separated, and 20-something years later, we're back together and now we're married. So, so he was already in trucking. And so it just kind of worked itself out. I run the dispatching side of things. My sons and I, we run the dispatching side of the company. And then my husband and I, we have a separate entity, a separate company where we're doing trucking.
Okay. So since I met you, I know you're all about vision.
Yes.
So what was your vision when you started TKK, especially this idea of creating generational wealth for you and your family?
Yes. So the vision was actually an answered prayer, because it is actually coming to pass now. So the vision was to actually do something that my kids could not have to work for anybody. And so TKK is for Titus, Kaylee, and Keon, which are my three biological kids. I have 3 bonus children, but the other 3 that I birthed. And so Titus actually is the COO. He actually started working with me in college, and he worked his way through college, and now he sits alongside of me day in and day out and run the day-to-day operations.
Nice.
Keon, he also started working with me right out of high school. He's in college now, and so he works alongside of us on the day-to-day operations. He's one of our top dispatchers when it comes to box trucks. Keon is a box truck man. I ain't never seen nobody put partials together until I met Keon, okay? Keon can put them partials together. Titus, he's the hot shot guy. He's everything hot shots, and then both of them move dry vans. And so me, I do it all. I do the hot shots, the box trucks, the reefers, whatever we got, I do. And so I was able to actually train them. And so that was the vision, to be able to start a company that I can leave to them. And then not only that we can grow and help others to be able to grow as well, because not everybody is cut out to be an entrepreneur, but they do want to have something where it's a good stream of income. Let me say it like that.
Yes.
And so being a dispatcher is, because honestly and truly, if you do it right, you set your own tone. You set the beat of the drum, Right. And so, we have days where at 10 o'clock in the morning, we're done for the day, and the good thing about it, you're able to do it from anywhere. I done been in Jamaica, in Cancun, sitting on the beach, just like, hey, that's all you need. I just need this good old cell phone. I need that good old Wi-Fi, and we good. I know it's Wi-Fi, but yeah. So that's the vision. That my children, because my daughter, she does invoicing sides of things, and so she's even in it. And so eventually the long run is to actually start a dispatching call center where you'll always have a dispatcher available to you at any given moment. And that's, I mean, and really just to be able to go in eventually to the trucking schools and offer that as a part of their training when they're getting their CDL. They're acquiring their CDL so they can know what it looks like. I tell a lot of my owners that don't have their CDLs or maybe don't even drive their trucks, take my course because you should know how to effectively run your business.
Right.
And know what's BS and what's not BS when it comes to when you're booking these loads and understanding what all it entails,
Right. I totally agree. That is something that, for me, in my experience, when I came out here, I am a type A personality. So I go out, I do the research, I dig it, I figure it all out on my own, and I jump in head first. A lot of people need all that figured out for them and given the step-by-step directions.
Absolutely.
But when you come out here, the problem is there's not a lot of resources or nobody tells you. There's no classes, there's no training, there's no curriculum for people looking to get into being a carrier or an owner operator like there is getting your CDL. And there needs to be a curriculum and specified information passed down to these drivers,
Absolutely.
How to calculate their cost per mile, things that are going to set them up for success instead of seeing them set up to fail.
That part. And I think that's another avenue that my husband and I are doing is opening up a trucking school as well, because a lot of things are not told. We're seeing it now. They're just pushing people through, and then you have mistakes made on the road, and that it costs lives. It costs lives. So we want to the end game for TKK and J&V Transports and TKK Academy is to leave trucking in a better light, because right now the limelight for trucking is not that great.
No, it's not. Educate. They need educated.
Absolutely.
There's either a lack of education or there is a huge gap of misinformation. I mean, Absolutely. There is so much misinformation out there.
I agree.
So I'm behind you 100% on what you plan to do with that. Congratulations. I like that. So where you started business, 2020?
2020.
About that 2020. So since 2020, what has been one of your, not the companies, but you personally as a female in the transportation industry, one of your biggest triumphs?
Not taking the business personal.
So that's hard to do.
Yeah, it is, because unfortunately, us as women, we're very emotional creatures. And so, me, I try to build a solid team because I build a lot of relationships with brokers based on, the way the drivers that I connect with, that I partner up with, the way they move. And so ideally, I'm always trying to build a team that's reliable. So let's say, for instance, if, and I'm just going to throw names out there, these are not real people, but if Justin can't do the load, I can call Rico to go and pick it up. And the broker never knew that we dropped the ball. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the type of team that I had built when I first started. And that's how, the Port Queen came about, because if one person dropped it, or, just say, if you weren't able to get back in time enough to be able to go and pull your container, hey, I call somebody else, we get that container pulled and staged for you, and we're still able to be effective. And that's how you get those dedicated opportunities. That's how you get those relationships built, where the brokers will contact you before they put it on the load board to see if, hey, do you have anybody in the area? My phone rings daily with that. Hey, V, such and such in my office gave me your number because they like how you and your team move. Do you have anybody in this area? And that should be your end game, is to always be able to build relationships, build good rapport in this industry, so that you can consistently be able to keep those wheels turning and you earning. And so I had to learn not to take it personal, because I did. I looked at everybody as family, and for me, family is something that I cared near and dear to my heart. So when things went a different direction, it crushed me. It crushed me because I took it a lot more personal, and I had to understand how to separate business from personal relationships.
Yeah, because when you have somebody else's back, you expect them to have yours. And when they don't, it's pretty disappointing.
And it's hurtful because in this trucking industry, loyalty is a word that is used but not honored.
I agree with that one. So building those relationships, what other key strategies do you think has helped you with your success? Because that's very important what you've developed, and being able to take care of those problems on the fly without having to alert. The broker says a lot about you being able to manage your business. So what other key strategies do you think is important?
So I move the businesses as if they're my personal businesses. When you sign up with TKK and you partner up with TKK, I'm going to watch out for your trucking company as if it's my own personal. And so a lot of times I'm probably a little bit more compassionate and a little bit more overprotective of your company than sometimes you may be, because I'm going to look out for things that I've seen in the past. I'm going to make sure that you don't fall late on your insurance and you risk having to pay to be reinstated with the FMCSA. I'm going to make sure that, hey, your medical card is due. Hey, have you handled that yet? I've even partnered up with DOT doctors that I can say, hey, go to this doctor in this area or whatever. I'm going to make sure that when you're coming in this industry, you have your drug and alcohol set up. I'm going to make sure that you have those things. I've partnered up with people, so I've in a sense became the plug.
Do you know what I call that in my personal life? When I do that, I tell somebody, I say, I'm getting ready to mom you. So prepare yourself, because I'm getting ready to mom you.
That's a good way to look at it, Tammy. Honestly, it's like I'm getting ready to hold your hand. We're getting ready to walk this thing out, because I want you to have all the tools and resources that you need to be successful in every area of your life. So ideally, when you deal with me, you're not dealing with an average dispatcher. That by no means necessary. It was so funny this morning. I had a driver stuck out in Bishop, Texas. And so he took it up on himself to just say, you know what? It's the weekend. I'm just going to head on back home. Well, I'm calling him at 8 o'clock in the morning with a load paying almost $4 a mile. And he like, wait a minute. You was looking for me something? Yeah.
Aww.
I was on a Saturday. Absolutely. Because if you're out in the streets, I'm working. I'm not going to wait till Monday. No, if I can move you on Saturday, if I can move you on Sunday, baby, you best believe I'm moving you. There's been times people call me while I'm in church. Hold on. Let me walk out because I'm in church. Give me 1 second. Let's deal with whatever the situation is, because at the end of the day, I take it serious and I take it as an honor that you trust me enough to keep your wheels turning. Because at the end of the day, as a dispatcher, I don't think that we realize that we are an important part of how these drivers provide for their families. Right. And so I take it very personal when you entrust me to keep your wheels turning and you earning. So he was like, oh my God, V, I'm sorry. I went ahead and I took off. And I'm like, dude, the last piece of this conversation that we had was this. I mean, when I say I had to calm myself down, I want to say, turn it around and go. We like, V, I'm already back home. I'm like, but who told you to?
And I gotta say, what's sad is it's all the dispatchers before you that left this man sitting on
Absolutely.
Weekends. And that's it. And to come across a dispatcher who's more worried about moving them than they are.
Yeah. He laughs so
a lot
hard.
about you, V.
I can't do nothing but tell you thank you, because I just assumed. He said, I assumed. Right. It was Saturday. You wasn't, it probably wasn't going to be anything. And I said, I wish you would have called me.
Because just show your message. Hey, I'm
going to go ahead and head home, because at the end of the day, if you would have called me on a Saturday, what I would have told you was give me till 9 o'clock. If after 9 o'clock, okay, go ahead and go. It was 8:27. And when I tell you, I moved this broker from $650 all the way up to $800.
Which doesn't seem like a lot, but sometimes it is. I mean,
that was a lot. That was a lot. And not to mention, it was only 2K. It was a light load.
Oh, light load.
Empty totes. You just moving empty totes, and you gonna be back home, And so I never like. And another thing that we get a lot that kind of bothers me is when drivers say, "If I take the load, are you sure you're gonna be able to get me out?" I can't answer that.
No,
I
can't.
It's never my intent to bring you somewhere and leave you there. But sometimes it's nothing to come out. If I do take you out there, at least, if it's a late delivery, give me to that morning, at least about 9 that morning. And let's see, because I start early. I'm at my computer at 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's Saturday morning and my husband looking at me like, you really? Yeah, I got to get in the office and I need to see if I can find this man something. And I'm literally laughing because I'm beating myself up like, oh my God, he's stuck. I got to fix it. Not knowing that he did already left me.
And the husband's over there like, you could have stayed in bed a little bit longer.
You got in bed with me. But you know what? Shout out to my husband because he has to be one of the most supportive when it comes to whatever I do, whether it be classes, mentorship, whether it be, hey, I need to go run the driver some paperwork. He is just supportive. He even goes out and trains some of the drivers when they're new. He'll go out and show them how to tarp. He'll go out and show them how to secure their loads. He don't mind because he understands that it's bigger than just, us. We're actually trying to build something here that we can leave.
And when you are hooked to this like a ball and chain, you do have to have a spouse who understands and respects that and understands that you're not putting them second.
No.
That you are building a future for you and your family.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
And last night I jumped in the truck with him, because I'm like, hey, listen.
I saw that.
Yeah. I'm like, listen, I understand that we don't get to, date like we want to because he's on the road Monday through Friday. That's what people don't know. My husband's not home throughout the week. He's on the road. So he comes home on Friday or early Saturday morning. So anytime that we can get time with each other, I'm like, hey, let me be the one to initiate interest in what you do because you always put interest in what I have. So although being a CDL driver, V will probably never be, but I like to understand what you do and support what you do. So if it's, hey, you want to get a fleet of 5 trucks, okay, what that look like on your end? Let me understand so I can help you be successful in that journey as well. So.
Keeping them rolling and not
dead. Yes, we get ready to get some more trucks, and I'm ready to hire some guys, but I hope they're ready for me because I'm a different breed. I am.
Right. But the industry needs that different breed though, because drivers right now have been so mistreated with making them sit that the type of dispatcher you are is a breath of fresh air for the industry.
Thank you.
And this is why I always say you are on fire, because you are. I mean, it is so nice to see that. So
I love it.
What I mean, I know there's a lot to choose from when I ask this question, but what is the most rewarding part of it for you when you teach these hands-on skills and you have these scenarios like this?
When people come back to me and say, I took others' trainings, but I didn't get nearly what I got with you, and I paid way more. I love to know that I'm, number one, affordable, but number 2, I'm effective.
Good. And you're worth every penny.
Thank you.
And I'll tell them too. Like, look at watch this podcast, see all this that you're gonna get. So you gotta think about you when you're not even thinking about yourself.
You hear me? Yeah, because I'm real big. Like when drivers book their own loads and they'll call me and say, "Hey, can you get me out of here?" Why did you go there?
Why? Are you there?
Right. Well, it was paying good. So did I not explain to you that, hey, if you go somewhere and it's paying good, expect to have to deadhead somewhere to get something better, or expect to take pennies to get to somewhere where you can get something better.
Yeah. And, a lot of drivers don't think about it. When I was planning my trucks, there was a lot of areas that we got really good rates going into, but I always knew that I was going to have to dead end a certain amount of miles out. And I always made sure I put that in my rate going in. So, and a lot of drivers, they just see a number and they don't think past that number or what comes next. And so you have to for them.
One of the things that I ask my drivers, and they laugh at me because I ask them, how much does it cost to fuel up your truck? How many miles do you get off of that? Because I'm going to deduct every little, I'm gonna itemize it. Okay. If it's $300 and you're getting 800 miles, okay, and this load is 500 miles, well, automatically I'm gonna take $300 off for your fuel. Okay, then I know what you pay me, so I'm gonna take that off too. So let me see if you're actually making a profit. It's rare. Yeah. Like you said, most guys, they just want to, let me get a truck. I mean, let's be real. Everybody bought a truck during the pandemic because it was easy, good money. It was easy to get in. At that time, you didn't need a CDL. You just needed to, be able to know how to drive. You didn't have to take the training, rather, for the CDL. Right. You just needed to be able to drive, and then you was able to get your license as long as you was able to pass. Now they're making it a requirement that you take the training. But at first, you didn't have to have that. And even still now, if you're under a certain weight, you don't have to have a CDL. You can be a non-CDL box truck, hotshot driver with no issues. So, it's sad that we don't take the time, like you said, to be a type A person where you actually do the research, find out if it's worth it, and if there's something that you can see yourself doing. Or if you look, I tell people all the time, if you're looking for a side hustle, this not it.
No.
This not it.
Or the people who get into it because they want to be home when they want and create their own schedule. Yes. Well, the more time you're home, the less those wheels are turning, the less you're earning, and the faster that you're going to be bankrupting out of that truck.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, that's the reality of it. Because when you're home, the bills aren't stopping. Like when you're a company driver and you go home, you don't have to worry about still paying those bills, right? The trucking company does.
Yep.
But when you're an owner operator and you're running your own truck, the more home time you have, the less income is coming in, and the faster those bills are stacking up, because all your yearly expenses don't change based on your home time.
And that's what they don't think about. And so you'll have moments where you didn't went bankrupt because you didn't consider all that. And then another thing, understand that there are seasons in this. That at certain times you're going to ball out of control, but don't put that money up. Put it up. And then even when you're making the money, put so much back up for maintenance. Like maintenance is no joke.
And it's not one of those things that you can put off. I mean, it's you have to do it, or you're gonna.
You gotta do it.
Yeah,
you gotta do it.
It's the devil, but you gotta do it. So doing that and having all that joy and reward, every trucker knows, and everybody in the trucking industry knows, that the road is not smooth sailing all the time. So what's been one of your toughest trials?
Ooh,
hard one, huh?
Yeah, because there are so many.
Well, you can tell them all if you need to.
I will tell you, one of my toughest moments is when one of my carrier's trucks flipped.
Oh, yeah.
That would probably have to be one of my toughest moments, because it was like that almost made me quit trucking.
Was it bad?
It was bad, but he survived. And he had to start all the way over, of course, because insurance and the claims and man, it was a lot. But that scared me so much. And that was probably one of the worstest moments. Besides, the second worstest would be when my driver thought he was having a heart attack. And when I say I dropped everything and I ran out there, I got in my car and I went to where he was. And it was so scary. It was so scary. Like, the broker even came on the scene. Like, everybody, his wife, me, the broker, we were able to recover. I called one of my other drivers. They came out and got the load and still took the load. But that's what I say. I'm a different type of dispatcher. Like, I take it personally when you sign up with me. And so moments like that is scary. Like, literally right now, I just declined a call, but I looked at her message. She said the driver had an accident. So I told her, as soon as I come out of this interview, I'm calling you to see what's going on. How can I help? But it's scary because people lose their lives every day with accidents with 18-wheelers. So I try to make sure that my drivers have everything they need. Like, I don't need you looking on your phone for anything. I don't need you. Like, I dissect it to the T. If you need to have a BOL printed out, I'm gonna tell you, hey, don't before you leave your house, print this out. Or, hey, let me find the closest truck stop that you can go and get this printed out. I'll send it there, and all you have to do is go and print it. Pay for it to be printed out. Let me make sure you have all your proper gear and things like that. So it's a lot entailed to it. That's why I say it's not a side hustle. It's not, because lives be at stake if these drivers are not focused. One moment of them taking their eye off the road, it could cause lives. So
going through that, did that change how you do business at all? I mean, did you make adjustments after that happened?
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. So being that those two particular drivers were one of my top, on my cream of the cream drivers, they were my top drivers. It made me realize that, maybe you have to kind of slow down a little bit, because you have a lot of drivers that, when they've been doing it for so long, it's just, it's routine and it's habit, and it's easy to make a mistake. But they don't think that they think that they're, what's the word, indestructible, because they're a veteran. So for me, it was like, okay, let me slow you down a little bit. Hey, I need you, because this particular driver, his saying is, let me go get it and come back with it. That's one of his favorite things to say. Yeah, let me go get it and come back with it. In other words, let me go get this load and come back with that money. But I had to tell him, hey, you can't do that. You got to slow it down, because that's how mistakes are made. And he was just burning himself to where that day he had to take a break. These drivers, I'm grateful, and a lot of them complain about it. Even me and my husband, we've went back and forth about it. I'm grateful that they govern their trucks, number one. And I'm grateful that they have to take these breaks. I'm grateful for that ELD system, because you have these veterans that's used to them paper logs, baby. Yep. And they would eat that road up. They would eat it up, and they would make that good money. But was it worth your health? Was it worth putting your life in danger? Was it worth you falling asleep behind the wheel or accidentally, So it's a good thing, but it's bad at the same time, because sometimes they can't meet deadlines, but it is good. It's good. So it just allowed me to just take a step back and reorganize how I was booking their loads, because I don't move until you tell me to. I'm not a person that forces anything on you. We don't do forced dispatching here. However, I still have to say, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't unplug it and just plug your ELD back later. No, I will just have to turn down the load. And so things like that is where I'm at. I want us to be successful. Of course, the more money you make, the more money I make in this, but it's not worth your life. It's not worth me having to make a phone call to your wife or your husband, for that matter, because we have female drivers too, and saying, I'm sorry to tell you this, but no.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's a great way to operate your
Yeah.
business. You know,
Thank
there's
you.
too many dispatchers out there that they don't
They don't
care.
do it. They don't. They don't. I have people that will call me and say, I love the way you dispatch because you understand our hours of service. You understand the breaks that we have to take. You understand the resets. You understand all of that. And you move us according to that. And I'm like, yeah, because at the end of the day, if it's a couple of things that can happen, you could either get into an accident or DOT pull you over and you get shut down. Yep. Who wants to pay them fines? Who wants to be shut down? Like, we're in this to make money, not lose money.
Yeah, and I never, calculated DOT fines into my rate per mile, y'all. So that's eating into profit there.
Yeah, I mean, because especially when you're taking them overweight loads, when we would do the port, I would tell them brokers point blank, hey, listen, are you going to pay this overweight ticket if we get it? Yep. Because if not, then you need to pay for this permit. It's that simple.
Yep. Exactly. So if you could give yourself one piece of advice from now to when you were starting TKK, right? Mm-hmm. What advice would you give yourself at the beginning?
Wow, that is a good question.
It is, isn't it?
My God. That reminds me of that, if you could tell your little self something mm-hmm. for your grown self. So one piece of advice that I would give myself is, man, wow, you caught me off guard, Tammy, with that. Wow.
Because who we are today is different from who you were the day that you started, right? Your knowledge is different. Your perspective is different.
I would definitely probably tell myself to get more educated.
Learn more before you dive in.
Before I dived in, because when I dove in, I was faking it till I made it. Honestly.
And here I'm gonna pitch it here now. But the next line doesn't have to do that because you are gonna educate them, right?
Absolutely. You listen. We're gonna educate you on dispatching like no, not one. Okay, we're gonna teach you A to Z, and not only that, Tammy. When I teach my classes, I'm different. So when you come to one of my classes, you're gonna have people that's going to come in and help you properly structure your business. Okay, so I bring in people that show you how to get your LLC. I bring in people that show you how to properly file your taxes. I bring in people that show you how to properly market your business. Those are the things that I do. So it's nothing average about anything TKK.
No, I've learned that since I've met you. I have not found anything average about you yet. So can you tell the listeners exactly what products you offer and what training you do provide?
Absolutely. So we have this program called Earn While You Learn that we will be kicking back off in 2026. Have to set a date, but I want to say it's going to come probably maybe to kick off for my birthday. That may be our June thing. That just might be. I think you just helped me decide when. But Earn While You Learn is a program that you can come in where I teach you day-to-day operations. You're able to actually work with me. It does come with a tag. It does have a price. But at the end of that, you're going to know how to effectively run your dispatching company because I've taught you everything that I do. Like, there's no gatekeeping. I'm putting it all out there on the table for you. We do offer one-on-one dispatch training. If you just want to know how to dispatch, how to get in the industry, you're able to do that. We do have mentorship. If you're already in dispatching or trucking for that matter, and you just want someone to hold your hand a little bit, or you just want someone to kind of look over how you're already doing business, maybe you're like, I'm not getting the most out of this. I don't feel like I'm
somebody who's maybe struggling with succeeding, who hasn't really got it down yet.
Absolutely. I'm stuck. How do I get out of this rut? We offer that mentorship. We also offer just anything business. I have people that just come to me for just business advice. So I do business consulting as well. And then we have up and coming on January 24th, a vision board party.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that in
Okay.
just a minute.
I hold back then.
Because this lady, she doesn't just kill it in the trucking industry. She literally clocks out and she continues in her personal life. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But other than dispatch, you also offer some trucking.
Yes. So we also offer, if you want to get into the trucking industry and you need to get your authority started, we do that as well. So I set you up with everything from getting your MC and your DOT to getting the insurance to getting your drug and alcohol set up to getting your plates and getting everything that you need. Everything that you need, we make sure that we do that. So we do have that. And all that can be found on our website, TKK Logistics and Trucking.com. We also even have an entrepreneur journal. For those that like to be encouraged every day, I have that on there as well. I mean,
that's who I am.
Yeah.
I love encouragement.
Yes. So it's endless. We are pretty much all things trucking. So
awesome. Yeah. Okay. So as she was saying, she has something coming up the 24th. So Mrs. V, can you explain the wonderful things that you do for women in your community?
Oh, as far as what we have going on in the community, we are bringing together entrepreneurs as a whole. And we're doing a Manifesting My Millions vision board party. And I'm excited about it because it's going to be one of the first. And I love doing the first with many people. Like I'm big on the first, like being the first in my family to be a millionaire, being the first in my family to do this and do that. Right. So we're doing this Manifesting My Millions, and it's going to be held January 24th in the Houston area. So, you still got time to drive in, fly in, whatever.
I would too. Let me tell you. When you told me the other day that you were having this vision board party, I was thinking, 5 or 6 women sitting around a scrapbooking table, making these boards, but that's not what you're doing.
It's definitely not. It's a lot more to it than just that. So how this came about was I posted that I'm going to a vision board party in Atlanta. So I'm actually flying out to one.
All the way to Atlanta?
Yes, all the way to Atlanta. Yes. So it's my business mentor who's hosting it. And so I'm like, well, this would be cool because I like to network. You never know who's in the room, right? So when they saw it, they said, oh, I need you to send me the link to your vision board party. I was like, I'm not having a vision board party. That's somebody else's. And so she said, well, this is your sign to do it. And I was like,
that is. That's the universe saying.
So, hey, literally in less than a month, we put it together. Like, I was like, okay, God, if this is what you want me to do, this is how I am. When I do anything, I say, God, if this is what you want me to do, you're going to make it effortless. It's going to be easy. It's going to all come together with no hiccups. And when I say this has come together with no hiccups, I'm so excited about it. Like, so I have ladies coming in that are going to talk all things business. So we're going to have strategy that's going to come out of that room. We're going to have goal mapping that's going to come out of that room. We're going to have financial business credit that's going to come out of that room. We're going to have commercial real estate, like you name it, we're going to have it.
Are you really making vision boards though?
I'm going to say on top of, okay? So the vision board, and it's not even going to be a vision board. I can't even put it out there because it's a surprise. So anything I do, always expect the unexpected, okay?
And there's food.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. You can't have an event without having food, okay? Your girl loves to eat, okay? So look,
I
So
don't stay this way from
you hear me?
dieting.
From dieting. So we are gonna have food, and it is very affordable. It's just a $35 investment into yourself, into your, your business. And this is something you can definitely write off because it's a business expense. Hello.
Yep.
So
it's gonna be in Houston, right?
In Houston
on January 24th.
January 24th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And so I have a lot of twists and turns. A lot. I'm so excited. Like, I am just wow. And then we have opportunities for businesses that want to be more in the spotlight. So we have VIP tickets. We have premium VIP. So it just kind of depends on where you want to be. If you just someone to say, hey, I just want to see what's going to go on, get your general admission ticket. It's $35. If you're someone to like, hey, I want to talk about who I am and what I do, go VIP. That's $65.
And then if vendors, yes, right?
Vendors. There is going to be some shopping ladies. Listen, and I ain't get one vendor I'm excited about, because when she called me, she was like, do you have room for one more? I was like, I don't. I'm sold out. I have no more vendor spots. She said, I don't need a table. I just need a chair. I'm like, a chair? What are you doing? She said, I give massages. Oh, we can fit you in.
My way.
We can fit you in. So, ladies, yeah. She gonna be in there
table to table.
She gonna be in there giving us a little rub down to make us feel relaxed.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have a group of ladies that are going to encourage you. They're going to pour into you. So it won't be your average vision board party where you just come and scrap and whatever. We're going to do that too. I'm not putting down that portion, but I also want you to leave, encouraged, ignited.
You're going to give them some motivation. You're going to give them some, some financial, and all that thing is going to spark their vision for 2026.
That's it. Yeah.
So how many women do you have lined up so far?
So we are capping out at 40. And right now we only have 5 seats left. So the ladies have not been playing. They have been getting those tickets, and I'm excited. We have some VIPs that are going to come in and actually get the opportunity to talk about their business too. One of the things that I really love is how you're going to enter in, and I can't give it away.
I can't wait. When we get off this live, I need to hear.
I'll give you all the details. I can give you all of these, but I cannot spoil it. Listen.
Sorry, guys. I'm not telling until after the 24th, but I'm not going to be there, so I'm going to get the details. Yes,
you get to get all of these. You got to. I really wish you could be there. I do. But yeah, we are, when I thought about this, I thought about encouraging the ladies, right? Because much like you, me, and other women, we're so busy pouring and doing our day-to-day till we run empty. Nobody's there to pour back into us. Nobody's there to say, hey, get up. You got this. Nobody's there to say, okay, you cried long enough, pick it back up. Nobody's there to say, you did a great job today. Nobody's there to even celebrate your small wins. I even have a fitness trainer that's going to be coming in there because, we all say at the beginning of the year, I'm dieting. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But I love her story because she's going to come in and talk about her story. But she don't just have story, but she has real results. She has the receipts. So me, when I bring in people that's going to be able to have valid receipts that you're going to be able to go and research and say, that wasn't just no fluff. Yep. They actually did this.
If you want to come to my conference, you got to talk the talk and walk the walk.
Absolutely. That's it. That's all. So when I say, when it all came together, I almost cried. Because
I can't wait to see the pictures from everything.
Yeah, how can I say it? I'm a person that can see it before it happens, right? I'm a visionary, right? And so I could literally see everything that's going to take place. Now I can't see the people, but I can see the decor. I can see the layout of the event. I can see all these things, and it brought tears to my eyes because it's not enough places where us as women can get together and we're there with the same goal, which is to build each other up.
Yeah, and women need somebody to say, "I see you."
I see you. I see you. It's too many of us that feel like we're not seen. It's too many. I mean, Tammy, literally all week, that is what I've been dealing with. Like, how do I position myself to be the one that they can say, she saw me. She understood my pain. She didn't overlook me because I didn't look a certain way, or I didn't dress a certain way, or I didn't talk a certain way, or my business didn't make this amount of money this year. She didn't. No, it's not about none of that. It's no pressure here. It's literally clarity, strategy, sisterhood, and pouring back into you. That's it.
Hey, that is awesome. That is amazing. So when do you go to the one in Atlanta?
Next weekend on the 17th. So
you have 7 days to make
7 days.
And after that one.
Yes, I laughed this morning because I was talking to my best friend who helps me to do, like, besides my husband, she is like my right hand chick. Like, when I tell you, everything I do, she's there. She's there. No hesitation. And so I'm like, listen, we're gonna go on the 17th because she's going with me on the 17th. We're flying out to Atlanta, and it's my mentor's thing. So I know that she is over the top like me. So I'm just waiting to see all these bells and whistles. Like, I cannot wait to see what we're gonna get. Like, I'm like, listen, now when we go out here, and if I get some ideas from out here, she like, you know what? Just don't even start. Don't even start.
Yeah. I can see it. You're gonna get the ideas because that's how I would be. And then you're gonna get back and you're gonna be like, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this.
Listen, every day I have called her with, okay, I still think we need to do this, and she be like, V, please, you have enough stuff. I'm like, but I just need to make sure we got this. And so this morning I called her. I say, you know what I forgot? Well, we didn't get blank checks. And she was like, girl, don't nobody do checks no more. I said they should. If they are an entrepreneur, your goal should be to write checks to employees. Yeah. She said, you sure right. So I'm like, so we need to print out blank checks. That needs to go on their vision board, that you will be writing checks in 2026. We all talk about getting the bag, but you can't get the bag by yourself. You eventually have to learn how to delegate tasks to other people. So writing checks is what you're going to do. I don't care if you're selling it to them. I don't care if you're using ADP. I don't care if you're cash apping it. You're still paying them. So let's write these checks.
Let's write those checks. Awesome. So what else? Is there anything else that you're involved in during the year?
Yes. So this year, one of the biggest things, and I'm putting it out here. One of the biggest things that I'm going to be doing this year, I'm partnering up with entrepreneurs, and we're going to do a give back in December. And so
kind of like a Project Santa program, a Santa program?
In a sense. So it's going to be Entrepreneurs United, giving back. And so I look at it like this: as entrepreneurs or as business owners, CEOs, however, we ask people to partake in our businesses, whether it be to purchase a product, purchase a service, or, let us come and do a service for them and they pay us. What do we do to give back to our community? And so that is what sparked it. And then me being, again, I think for me, Tammy, a lot of what I do came from being a single mom, not being able to provide the way I wanted to provide for my children at the time, right, before, I got put in the place where I am in the position that I am. But I remember at Christmas time not being able to provide for my children the way I desired to. So we're going to be providing haircuts for the boys. We're going to be providing food. We're going to be providing toys. We're going to be providing just some good time. a good moment of fellowship, networking, getting to
Yeah.
know and different things. So it'll be a big community event held December 19th here in the Houston area. And so nobody knows. So guess what? You got the exclusive.
This is it.
I'm probably gonna get in trouble for putting it out there already, but that's okay. That is one of the biggest things that we're going to be doing this year. So all year we're going to be, just reaching out to entrepreneurs because we want it to be entrepreneur-based donations, giving back into our community. We have to give back into those that give to us day in and day out. So
I think that's a great goal for 2026.
Yeah.
I think that's a great vision to have.
Yeah.
Anything else in store for Mrs. V this year?
So in October, my mentor that I was telling you about, she has this big ultimate entrepreneur conference. And so this year she's doing it 3 days, October 1st through the 3rd. And so I am lucky and honored and privileged to be one of the ambassadors for that. And so when I say this is an entrepreneur conference like none other, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And this year she's doing a gala, however people say it. And so it's a 3-day. Yeah, we all say differently, right? It's a big 3-day event. And she is one that has helped a lot of entrepreneurs build 6, 7, and 8-figure businesses. And so she is the ultimate entrepreneur herself, Coach C, Charmaine Stevens. And so I'm excited to be a part of that. There's a lot of events that she's going to be doing throughout the year that I'm going to be a part of. And so you just got to follow me. You have to follow me. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. You just have to follow me to see where I'm going to be. There's a lot of things that me and my husband are trying to do in the trucking industry this year. We're looking to start our own affordable truck parking area for those looking for parking, affordable, secured, because I'm tired of getting calls.
I'm going to put my request in right now because this is my biggest complaint, right?
Yeah.
So you heard it from Tammy. Lighting.
Yeah.
Trash receptacles.
Okay.
Bathroom access.
Okay, I'm writing all this down. Lighting, trash, and bathroom.
All these truck parkings that are coming up are not safe areas for a lot of women.
Absolutely.
It does not have adequate lighting. It doesn't have adequate trash and bathroom and security. And those are things that when women are out here, you're not ever allowed to leave your truck because, you need, security, you need lighting, you need bathroom facilities.
Absolutely. So just to kind of give you a little peek in, because I'm not going to give you everything, but that has already been in the making. And one of the other things we will have is like a little office where they can go in and do their paperwork if need be. And we're working to further it out to where we can have little hotels there for those that come in day cabs. So it's a lot, Tammy. You asking a lot, Tammy. We got a lot going on in 26 to 27 that we are working on. Like I said, we want to recreate the way people look at truckers. The industry awesome. So yeah, we definitely, with the truck parking, we're going to have 24/7 security. It will be very well lit with lighting, and we will have plenty of trash receptacle dumpsters there. We will have actual portable, not the little porta potties. No, we're going to build a restroom facility there as well. And then not only that, one of the reasons why I want to do this week on Sunday, this past Sunday, one of my drivers called me and said his computer was stolen out of his truck. Same thing happened to my husband and I. Our computer was stolen out of our truck. So again, these are things. So here's one of the things that a lot of times that I think that people need to realize when they provide a service or a business. What solution are you providing to your community? Yes, awesome. We definitely going to have security. It's going to be a lock gate if you don't have. And here's my thing. a lot of times people don't realize that they give the thieves the access when you give people the codes to go into these places. So it won't be, yeah.
So
I
stayed at a place in Tennessee, and every time it was secured, but every time you logged in, it gave you a one-time use code.
And that is what I'm going to go for. Absolutely. And that way we know who it was.
Yeah, it was like every time the gate opened, it was a different code that had to be used. It didn't work past once. So that's pretty awesome. You have a really busy 2026 coming up.
Yes,
I can't wait to see it. So for those watching that are looking at getting into dispatching, looking at getting maybe their first truck, looking at just creating a business, what advice do you have?
If you're looking to get a truck, my advice would be save 6 months worth of your house bills, not the trucking bills, your house bills. Because ideally, when you first start, the loads you're getting is paying your insurance, it's paying your truck note, it's paying for your fuel. So you want to be able to, because when you're first starting off, it's hard to find people that work with you, right? Every broker has a stipulation of, so you have to be prepared for that. So in that, save you 6 months of your house bills so that you know that you got that cushion to build your business. That would be my advice on that. When it comes to the dispatching side of things, my advice to the dispatchers would be find you someone that you can, be an apprentice for. Someone that you can work under, someone that you can shadow until you learn the ins and outs. Don't just take my training or someone else training and think, okay, let me jump out there. No, like I told you guys, that was probably my biggest mistake. But at the same time, it helped me get to where I am. So I wouldn't call it a mistake. I would call it a blessing in disguise, right? But I would say get under someone that's going to help you to actually be effective in the business. And that's not going to, as the kids use now, gatekeep. That's not going to hold back any information, but that's going to really make sure that you understand the rules and regulations. And even if it's just the basic things that you learn, get those things, grab a hold to them, and figure out how to apply them so that you are not causing drivers to get shut down or to get fined or whatever the case may be. And actually care about what you do. Don't take on more than what you can chew. In other words, we don't take carriers just because we can make X amount of percentage. No, if I don't think that I can guarantee to keep you moving, I don't want to do that to you.
Yeah, I can see it. So get a mentor, which, as you've said multiple times, you have mentors in your life. So that is
I have two. I have a Christian mentor, my spiritual mom, and then I have a business mentor, Coach C. So yeah, I have mentors in my life because you need them. You definitely do. We need each other.
We do. Well, I tell you what, this has been an exciting episode. I have just enjoyed it immensely.
Thank you.
And then what was your website again? I'll let you give that.
TKK Logistics and Trucking.com.
So if you have any questions for V, or if you'd like to get with her on her dispatch or mentoring services, or looking to become a carrier and want to get into paperwork, check her out. Other than that, thank you so much, V, for being a guest.
Thank you for having me. And also, I do want to make mention, I forgot one thing that we do have on our website too. We have, I think it's like 300 or 400 brokers that will work with you in your first 90 days. So that list is on there as well. So yes. So yep. So thank you so much, Tammy, for having me. This has been an awesome podcast interview. I loved every moment of it. You're awesome. Such a breath of fresh air. I love what you're doing in the trucking community, how you're educating people and you're bringing out other people that can help others win as well in the industry. So thank you, Tammy, for what you're doing.
We all win together that way. So I tell you what, listeners, I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to stick around and I'm going to get those seats. So, listeners, you have a great day. Be safe out there.
Be safe on the
And we'll
road.
see you there Trucking with Tammy today.
Bye, y'all.